Brian, you're Dr. Bill's right-hand man.
Yeah, good old Dr. Bill is back in action again, and let me tell you, this time he is nastier, narkier. This bunch of candidates are a lot feistier and firier than last year, and they're very, very different, and they try and take him on. You know, and one of the things Bill hates is he hates being second guessed, and he hates being taken for granted. So they try it on the first 1 or 2 boardrooms, and he just slaps them away like little flies, you know. And then, from what I hear later on in the series, what I know it damn well, because there was a couple of occasions, we'll say, around the middle of the series, where Bill goes really to town on them. And myself and Jackie are kind of going, "Jeez, a little bit stiff there, weren't you?" Pissing me off, you know. So he really goes to town on them, and I think we've definitely got some landmark TV moments here.
Nicky, we were all so sorry to see. Well, it was quite an emotional end last year.
It was a mixed bag. You know, at the time, the kind of focus was on winning. And I remember throughout the travel weeks, people used to say, "Well, if I don't win, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. What will you do, Nicky?" And I always said, I'm not thinking about that. It's getting the job and that's it. So when I didn't, I was in a bit of shock mode, because I actually was like, I haven't thought about what I'm going to do. But it's been a great 12 months since, and you know, I was delighted for Brenda because we were very close. So it'll be interesting to see now this year's show.
Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, it's good fun, you know. It's very hectic because it's all done over a really intense 8 weeks. We did it through June and July. And yeah, it's fun because, you know, the recognition factor afterwards. I've just come back from the Stowe races. And it was funny, like, you know, it's just everyone's coming up asking about the programme. The anticipation out there is just massive this year. So there seems to be a much bigger deal going with it. And certainly the production company, Well and Meteor, have put a lot of resource into it. So it's a lot better. The tasks are a lot more in depth. And the cock-ups and F-ups are a lot better and bigger this year.
Conor, you're the marketing director of Meteor, who are sponsoring this year. It's going to be quite a different show.
It's going to be really good. I think we have the main series, and then we've bolted on all of these other additional pieces of content and application to go around it. And try and bring it a bit more to life, give people a chance to look at it, give people a chance to interact with it, and bring it more to life.
Yeah, one of the things is you're engaging with the online community. So you've got Twitter coming through and Facebook through your website?
On our microsite, and on the Apprentice unseen.ie. So that's a big screen version, and then there's a small screen version for the Meteor portal as well for Meteor users. And on that we've got exclusive footage, we've got clips, we've got blog, we have Nicky O Callaghan back writing for us, she'll give us updates during the week. So yeah, it's a kind of trying to build a whole package around the series this year.
Brilliant. And can Meteor customers expect any hints or tips? Or
not from me. I haven't watched it, I don't want to know.
I'm a guest blogger on the Apprentice unseen.ie website, which is brilliant. I don't know if you've heard, but they're putting all unseen clips on that website, which aren't shown on the TV at all. So all the juicy gossip, all the fights, all inside the house, kind of hidden camera type thing. Yeah. So I'm guest blogging on that website, which would be great. So that's my involvement, and I'm writing for the Sunday World as well, just commenting on all the candidates and the tasks and everything.
You were described as Bill Cullen's original apprentice. 3 years you spent with him.
Yeah, I stuck it out with Bill for 3 years, and it was such a roller coaster. I'd like to say as well that I turned him down 3 times before I joined him, but eventually joined him, and I must say it was the making of me. I mean, if anyone I would say can get a chance to actually have a mentor and kind of try and team up with a high-power businessman, they should, because their whole attitude just rubs off on you. Basically, the energy, the attitude, the positivity. You never do negative. If you have a setback, you sit down. Okay, how do we get over this? And then you start an immediate action plan straight away, and you plan everything. And you know, basically, there's a recession on, so what? You just get on with things, and you just form a plan around it and stick to it, and then you just beat the recession.
Thinking about a year ago, is there anything that you just wish? I wish I'd just done that one thing better. I know there was so many tasks and it was such an involved week.
Definitely. It's just to be more me and come out of my shell a little bit more. I found the TV part the hardest. You know, I didn't go in it for a TV show, I went in it for a job. Yeah, and I find the cameras quite intimidating, and the boardroom, it's not my nature to get my claws in and fight for the job like that. So it took me a while to get my feet on how to do it, but with integrity. And I just wish that had been a little bit quicker.
And what's the reaction been to you like? Because I know you went back to work.
I went back to work. I always said that if I didn't get the job, I would go back to my old job, because I had a brilliant job. There'd be no reason why I would leave. But I've since set up a company with 2 other people as well, which has been going really, really well. And then I'm involved in the new Apprentice and with the You're Fired show and the Apprentice scene.ie and all that. So it's been a really busy year.
You're probably as busy as an apprentice.
I know, everyone's like, oh, you have so many fingers and pies, and literally I'm starting to put toes in at this stage. Like, just, you know, it's a great opportunity, and you have to take it while it's there, because soon enough there'll be new apprentices. So it's a good time. It's been a good 12 months. Busy, really, really busy.
We see Bill in a very condensed, edited format. Is he cranky? Is he kind of as quick to jump on you if you've made a mistake or whatever? Maybe not you, because you worked with him, but to others.
Well, in general, I mean, Bill in his everyday life is very happy-go-lucky, larger-than-life figure. He's very much this hail fellow, well-met kind of guy, and he's going around the streets like a politician, pumping people's hands, because he's always selling. Yeah. Bill never turns off. You know, if he's out in a pub or he's in a restaurant, whatever, he's selling. You know, but I remember our Monday morning management meetings used to start at 7:30 in the morning and would run on all morning after that. Okay. He would tear us apart. He just killed us. So if you hadn't your work done or your program of a plan that you said you would do and you hadn't it done, he would absolutely crucify you. And woe betide you if you went in there and didn't have your work done or your targets met or whatever. Now, having said that, when you were taking the task in front of the rest of the management team and you felt like 2 feet high, you know, basically he would say, right, you know, you effed up, you make total cock up, how do we get over this? And he'd build you back up again, and he'd work on the plan of actions, and he'd help you get there. Right. So that was the good thing about him, and he did mentor people. And even like his older management team, he'd still be mentoring them. You know, they were all like his little children.
We've just watched the preview inside. It's been a very tough week.
Yes.
God, I wouldn't sit in front of him in the boardroom forever.
Probably, I mean, in fairness, the first task is usually always the hardest, because, especially with the guys, you know, you have 7 alpha males, and as I said, they're like all little big apes, you know, pumping their chests and banging each other and trying to get one up on each other, whereas the women actually work better, they're smarter, and always are at the start.
Soon the Apprentice on scene.ie is going to be linking to coach.ie, because we're blogging it as well.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah, there's live blog feeds on it. I think any websites, I think, are all there. There's live blogging with probably yourselves, Twitter, Facebook, I think Bebo, all of them are all there. So there's live blog, and then people can vote on who they want, and there's a Richter scale on who's going to win and who's going to lose. And
so you're going to be sitting at a desk now this evening doing this, or are you going to be in your PJs at home in front of the TV?
In my PJs with the laptop. Yeah,
right.
Definitely.
Pretty much like us all.
Yeah, I've been in Portugal for the last few days, and I only got back late last night, so definitely a early night for me.
It's probably the toughest one of all, and of course it's the one that you don't want to be fired on.
No.
Nobody wants to go first.
Yeah.
And
although then you'll be the least remembered.
Well, that's it. But then, because you know, your friends and family will probably never let you forget it ever. You know. But you know, it's one of the toughest ones, because everyone's out to make an impression. Yeah. Everyone is trying to catch Jackie's eye or my eye, trying to make an impression. But we see everything. You know, we see if you want to be a team member. We see if you're going on solo runs. We see all the bitching, the backbiting, all the spitefulness. We see everything. So nothing escapes. So Bill gets an absolute full report when he goes to the boardroom later on.
How frustrating is it for you to be looking at people doing a job and kind of wanting to go, no, do that differently? For God's sake,
I mean, you probably see myself and Jackie, we've like 2 security guards or SAS officers looking at them with a stern face. We are screaming inside our heads. What the Jesus are you doing? What the hell? Will you just cop on? You know, and you just want to go in and step in and say, it's like, Jesus, will you ever pull it together? You know, and what are you thinking of? You know, just going into stupid places to sell stuff, or you know, doing marketing campaigns or advertising campaigns. Just making complete hames of it. And sometimes it happens that when the camera goes on, they just turn into totally different people, and they just mess up all over the place. They can be absolute disasters that way.
People are going to enjoy the series, I'd say. What would you think?
I'd hope so. There's a bit of everything. You know, while there's a lot of humorous bits and funny bits, and people are going to be, you know, in stitches looking at some of the mistakes being made, there's also the serious side as well. And the great thing about it is a lot of families sit down at home and watch this and go through it afterwards with their kids. And often, actually, we heard that a lot of teachers last year in primary and secondary schools were debating the next day. So it's very much a program for the times, in that, you know, we do have to think outside the box, you know, that awful cliche, but you know, sometimes we have to make ourselves a little bit different in order to try and sell or try and market or try and advertise to actually sell a product, or you know, get people into an establishment or whatever, you know. So that's all extremely important. And I like to think that this program would help people look differently. And you know, the Irish are always been great entrepreneurs. Yeah. They've been in, you know, success all over the world, and that's why they are successful, because they do think that little bit differently. They're not that rigid sometimes. Sometimes they're not that structured. And it's very funny that often the best candidates are sometimes they don't have the formal education, or they don't have they have been fettered by middle management in corporate life.
Yeah, Brian, thanks very much for your time.
You're very welcome.
Cheers.
Enjoy the show.
Thanks so much.